What's up, my fellow weirdos? How are you? Season of the Splicer has been one of the best seasons in Destiny so far when it comes to mods and builds, especially for some of us that love to tinker and just do off-the-wall random stuff. We have all these amazing artifact mods like Energy Accelerant to cause pure chaos with explosive damage in the Crown Splitter, Breach and Clear, which is now the new industry standard for debuffing enemies with grenade launchers. We even have Warmind cells that disrupt champions. But one mod I don't see too many people talk about, or at least until recently, is Impulse Recycler. It's a stackable artifact mod with no elemental affinity that can be equipped on your arms and gives grenade energy back when you get final blows with grenades. It's one of those mods that has a ton of potential and opens up the possibility for some very aggressive grenade loadouts. And we all know how important grenades are. They're like the bread and butter in some of the best builds out there. The best part is, you don't have to rely on grenade-focused exotics as much. They will help, but it's not necessary. So in return, this lets you play around with some other exotics. And when you pair Impulse Recycler with another artifact mod, such as Ashes to Assets, that gives you super energy from grenade kills, you end up with a lethal combination for some fast supers. Which brings me to the point of this video. I've been sitting on a generic build using Ashes to Assets and Impulse Recycler for a while now, but I can never decide what character to make the video with because it's good on all three with every subclass. So in this video, we're going to do something a little different. I'm not going to focus on one specific guardian or weapon. Instead, we'll cover a very basic build using just a few easily accessible mods that work for all three classes. This build will be focused around fast supers and lots of grenades. That's it. And then I'll give you my oddball recommendation for some exotics to try out. So, let's get into it already. For the helmet, we're just going to double stack the artifact version of Ashes to Assets. On the arms, Impulse Recycler twice, unless you need to equip a champion mod as well. For the legs, Innervatia twice to reduce grenade cooldowns when picking up Orbs of Power. And for the class item, if you're not using Breach and Clear, you can use Bomber twice, which reduces grenade cooldown when using a class ability. Or Surge Detonator and Unstoppable Schwarzschild Condenser for Overload and Unstoppables. And I can't believe I got that right on the first try. This basic mod setup alone will give you a ton of super energy fast, and I'm not even joking when I say it's all you need. But if you want to take it above and beyond this, you can add in a Charged Light build using Energy Converter and Firepower. If you're not interested in a Charged Light build, you can always go with Elemental Well mods from last season like Elemental Ordnance and Font of Wisdom. Moving over to the exotics, there are so many great options on every class, like Nezarec Sin for the Warlock, or Star Eater Scales for the Hunter. But I figured this would be a good opportunity to try out some exotics that have gotten a little crusty in the vault. Don't get me wrong, those exotics would be fantastic for this build, but you know how I love to be different. So for the Warlock, I've been running the Skull of Dire Ahamkara to get a nice chunk of super energy back when killing enemies with Nova Bombs. This exotic was a monster in Destiny 1, and I have some history with it, but Bungie decided it needed to be nerfed. It's still a really good option in my opinion, but gets outshined by a lot of other exotics. And when I'm rocking the Solar subclass, it's gotta be the Sun Bracers, so I could throw even more grenades after a melee kill, which in return gives even more super energy. The Hunter, I've been using Shards of Galanor and Blade Barrage to get super energy back when getting hits or kills with Blade Barrage. I know the super isn't what it used to be, but I love throwing a ton of knives, and the animation is just really cool to me. I've also been playing around with the Lucky Raspberry, even though it is a grenade exotic, but the Arc Bolt grenades are just too much fun, plus this exotic works great in high level content when using Surge Detonator. And for the Titan, the Mask of the Quiet One, just because it looks really cool and gives you ability energy when taking damage. This has to be one of the easiest builds out there. The return on your investment by just using Ashes to Assets and Impulse Recycler is fantastic. I highly recommend giving it a try with whatever exotic you enjoy, and let me know what you think. I will be making individual builds in the near future using some of these exotics and mods, so keep an eye out if that sounds interesting. If you found this video helpful, a like would be greatly appreciated, but more importantly, just be a good person to one another and have a fantastic day. Thank you!